We have got a Major League Fox News alert. Listen.
Because here we go. The Dow is now above 50,000. And it is happening now. 50,004. John, there it is. This is an all-time high. I believe it's we're on track for the fifth record close of 2026. The market is bouncing back from what was a really uncertain market all week. The S&P 500, the NASDAQ getting hit by a tech sell-off. And here we go. It is off to the races, up almost 1,100 points, 2.25% gain. John, 50,000 is a big round number.
Boy, I'll tell you, and look at where it is compared to November of 2016 when Donald Trump was elected and everybody predicted that the Dow was going to go in the toilet. In fact, it went exactly the opposite direction. And then last year, when Liberation Day hit and all the tariff news came out, we started applying tariffs to a lot of goods coming in from overseas. Everybody thought, well, the sky is falling and the Dow's going to go back down to where it was in 2016. And I boldly predicted that by this time next year, the Dow would hit 50,000, and there you go.
Pretty remarkable. Right now, joining us is our Fox Business correspondent, Lydia Hu. Lydia, it was a wild ride this week. I don't know if anybody saw things finishing up like this, but there was a couple big data points this morning. Consumer sentiment was unexpectedly up and beat expectations. Also, the inflation read was better than expected. So what all is getting the market to this point right now?
This is a huge psychological milestone, crossing that 50,000 point mark for the first time ever. And more to your point about where we've been coming from, John was just talking about the Liberation Day tariffs. Just to reset and remind everyone where we were back in April. And the days that followed the imposition of the Liberation Day tariffs, we sunk as low as 37,000 on the Dow. And look at how we've been punching back in shorter than a year's time since then. And Sandra, you are absolutely right. This week has been punctuated by a brutal sell-off in the markets that we've been tracking over in Fox Business. A lot of that driven by what exactly is going on with artificial intelligence. There was an announcement about a new type of software and its impact on really our blue-collar service sector. But it looks like we are the dip buyers, so to speak. They see prices go down, they see a sell-off, they swoop in because they've got confidence in AI and the ability of this market and this economy to keep punching forward. Sandra, you asked about the consumer sentiment survey. This is a monthly survey that comes out from the University of Michigan. They're measuring consumer confidence on a monthly basis, a really important leading indicator because so much of our economy is driven by consumer spending. So if consumers are feeling confident and more optimistic, then that would suggest that there will be more spending that would be good for business and therefore good for the markets. And you're right, today, consumer sentiment jumping mid-February. We're seeing a 6-month high on consumer sentiment. The index is up almost a full point, 0.9 points to 57.3. That is the highest that we have seen since August. And importantly, consumers are saying they see inflation, their expectations about the direction of inflation, they see that improving. They see that further moderating. That's also really important. And one final point that I would add here too is among the indices and the indexes that we track over on the Fox Business Network, we also track indexes for manufacturing. And we got some really encouraging reads out of those surveys earlier this month for the country showing that manufacturing for the first time in 11 months, punching into expansion territory, out of contraction territory that might have something to do with what we're seeing here today.
So Lydia, a lot of the increase in the Dow, in the last 5,000, 6,000 points has been through AI and AI investment. And then it seemed like it was a little shaky that there was an AI bubble that was building. That doesn't seem to have happened.
It does not seem to have happened. It is a constant and ongoing discussion, though, John. I will tell you, we are always tracking how the flow of money is going from the AI tech spend, from the infrastructure to the software, and everyone is looking for where is the payoff. We're seeing incredible amounts of what they call CapEx spending from companies. Amazon is a terrific example out with their earnings this week, blowing everyone away with how much they're spending in their build out to accommodate artificial intelligence. And even though they had also terrific earnings and revenue that beat expectations, meaning they're earning more than anyone anticipated, because they're also spending so much on AI, the Amazon stock fell off. So there are some questions about when exactly are we going to see the return on the investment. I will tell you, for the time being, there are a lot of bulls on Wall Street. Sandra will tell you that there's a lot of optimism here.
Yeah, the tough part about this market is the volatility, uncertainty surrounding certain sectors. There's been a lot of movement in the Bitcoins and the precious metals. The precious metals, by the way, are bouncing back right now as well. Looking at gold is up 2% on the day. That's a pretty big move in the precious metals markets. Silver's also up, copper's up, some of those industrial metals. The energy market's moving as well. Right now, oil is back up to like $64 a barrel. Just below there, I should say. So there's movement all around here. Wow. Really interesting to look at these markets. But the Dow above 50,000. So right here, Lydia, this would be a record close for the American stock market. This would be the 5th record close of 2026, obviously reflecting what is a strong economy, a growing economy. This really flies in the face of a lot of those expectations that things were turning around. But you know, next week's another week. It's been a very volatile market. That's hard for traders. There's been a lot of uncertainty out there. As from an investment standpoint, though, if you've let your money alone in your 401k, you can go peek at it today and you will be pleasantly surprised, Lydia.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think back to the point about what we call the dip buyers, when they saw the market kind of pulling back earlier this week, a lot of investors looked at, hey, that's a good point, a good place to get into the market and put more money to work. And that might be some of what we're seeing here reflected on the screen at the moment.
But here's the interesting thing. People are finding a reason to be very optimistic and ebullient about what's going on with the Dow now. But by this time next week, they'll have found a reason to be really pessimistic.
Buckle up. It's never boring. Always something to follow. So join us over on Fox Business.
Well, Lydia, thank you very much. I know that FBN's covering this as well. John, you always say the markets go up, the markets go down. This isn't a market that's only been going up. I mean,
but
it did.
But you see those little dips in the green line there?
That's usually a sign of health in a stock market. You don't want to see a straight line up. You want small corrections here and there, which provide opportunities for buyers to step in. And for those who did, congratulations, because you're enjoying this ride up.
Yeah, well, you know far more about this than I. I look at my 401k about once every 5 years.